The notary's pen hadn't even touched the paper when I knew what was happening. Her smile gave it away, tight, sugary, and rehearsed. My mother-in-law leaned forward, fingers resting on a legal document she clearly hadn't written. "All we need is your signature, Beta. Just a small property adjustment, family matter." I looked at my husband, seated beside her. He couldn't even meet my eyes. That's when it hit me. This wasn't a family. It was a setup. When I married him, I was stupid enough to think love meant transparency. He was charming then, nervous around me, gentle with my grandmother when she was alive. He'd bring her flowers every Sunday, read the newspaper to her when her eyesight dimmed. That was how he won both of us. I thought I'd found someone who loved not just me, but where I came from. When she passed, she left me 3 apartments in Karachi, quietly, privately. She'd always said, "Some things, my dear, are safer in silence." So I said nothing, not even to him. The first sign came after the wedding. He changed our shared bank account password for security. Then, his mother began dropping by unannounced, always with advice. She'd comment on my jewelry, on the house deed, on what the husband's side deserves. I brushed it off as cultural overreach until one night I heard her voice through the guest room door. "She doesn't trust us yet, but she will. Just give her time." Something in me froze. I didn't sleep that night. 3 weeks later, I found the draft of a property declaration on my husband's laptop. It listed my name, his name, and an empty section labeled "Assets to be merged post-marriage." He'd even typed "apartments" in parentheses. He didn't know I'd seen it. That's when my grief turned to clarity. Betrayal, when it's quiet, cuts deeper, and revenge, when it's calm, heals cleaner. I didn't confront him. I smiled more, cooked his favorite dishes, laughed at his stories. Meanwhile, I moved the ownership of my grandmother's apartments under a private trust, my name nowhere on the surface, legally invisible. Then I quietly transferred my salary into a separate account, opened months ago under my maiden name. Every transaction, every text, every small lie, they piled up neatly in my mind like evidence. When they brought the notary that morning, I played my part. "Of course," I said softly, "but I'll need to read before I sign." I took the folder, walked into my study, and called my lawyer. He arrived within the hour, tall, expressionless, holding a brown envelope. Inside were copies of all the documents my husband had forged in preparation. I hadn't known the full extent until then. 3 transfer drafts, 2 falsified marriage amendments, and 1 fake signature already filed at the registrar's office. They'd planned to claim my grandmother's apartments as jointly inherited marital property. By the time I was done reading, my hands weren't shaking. They were steady. I returned to the living room. The notary smiled at me, uncertain now. "Everything okay, madam?" "Yes," I said, "except this version isn't current." I slid the new documents across the table, ones my lawyer had filed an hour earlier, voiding all previous marital property claims under a legal separation clause. Their faces drained of color. My husband's voice cracked. What did you do?" "I just protected what's mine," I said, "the same way your mother taught you to protect what's yours." He tried to talk me out of it later, apologized, cried, even accused me of being cold. He was right about that part. Coldness is what keeps fire from burning you alive. The divorce was clean. No public scandal, no shouting. Just signatures. Real ones this time. He walked away thinking I'd left him with nothing. He didn't know I'd already made sure of that. The apartment they lived in? It was rented, from the very trust that owned my grandmother's properties. Every month, his rent quietly transfers back to me. I sometimes imagine him signing that check. I wonder if he recognizes the account number. I hope he does. Silence saved me. Had I spoken too soon, I would have lost everything. Had I trusted too much, I would have become another cautionary tale whispered in drawing rooms. But I didn't. I let them think I was naive. I let them draw the trap and step inside first. Because sometimes revenge isn't about destruction. It's about design. Now, every month as I unlock the door to one of those quiet apartments my grandmother left me, I whisper the same words she once told me. Some things are safer in silence. And I smile, because silence, when used well, speaks loudest of all.